Hey guys, Jared here, and today we're going to check out the P650RE laptop from MetaBox. You won't want to miss this. Inside the box we have the laptop itself, which is protected by foam. There's also various instructions and driver CDs included, as well as another box containing the power brick and cable. The P650RE is a laptop in the Prime series from MetaBox, an Australian company that specialise in custom high-end laptops. First we'll start with the specs of the laptop. These are the specs that I selected when ordering the laptop online. Basically every component has multiple ways that it can be customised, so you could end up with a completely different laptop depending on your selection. So inside my particular laptop we have an Intel Skylake i7-6700 HQ CPU at 2.6 GHz, which can turbo up to 3.5 GHz. This is a quad-core processor featuring 4 cores and 8 total threads. There's 16 GB of DDR4 memory at 2133 MHz. For storage we have a Samsung 850 EVO 250 GB M.2 SSD, which runs the operating system, and a secondary 500 GB HGST hard drive, which I'm using for data storage. For the gamers there's a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970M with 3 GB of GDDR5 memory. We'll have some benchmarks on this a bit later on. The display is a 15.6-inch IPS 1080p backlit display. For network connectivity, we have a gigabit Ethernet port and Intel dual-band wireless AC card. All of these specs are placed nicely into a Clevo P650RE6 case. Essentially, MetaBox have built this laptop inside the shell offered by Clevo. The case has a black metallic brushed aluminium look, and the build quality feels quite solid. It looks pretty great until the fingerprints start to build up. It would have been nicer if the surfaces were a bit more fingerprint resistant. The total weight of the laptop, including power brick, is 2.5 kilograms, which is quite portable. I haven't had any issues transporting it around. I found that it's quite a good weight for me to easily open the lid of the laptop with one hand without the laptop moving anywhere, which is quite nice. The dimensions of the laptop are 38.5 centimeters in width, 27.1 centimeters in depth, and 2.5 centimeters in height, so it's actually fairly thin for such a powerful laptop. The 15.6-inch display in my model features a 1080p IPS panel at 60 Hz. The brightness can be adjusted and it looks pretty good. The viewing angles on the screen are actually pretty amazing, and I can see details clearly from any sharp angle. The surface of the screen has a matte finish to it, which I prefer over a glossy screen, as you can easily see what you're doing regardless of the lighting situation. There's no reflection. Above the display is an inbuilt 2 megapixel camera capable of 1080p video at 30 FPS. However, the quality isn't very great, which seems to be pretty common with most inbuilt laptop cameras. The keyboard and touchpad have been fine. I haven't had any problems, and there wasn't really anything special there that surprised me either. The keys feel pretty nice to type on, and there's an optional white LED backlighting which can be adjusted to different brightness levels, and there's even room for a full numpad on the right. The touchpad is quite good and features physical left and right click buttons with a fingerprint scanner in between them. The touchpad also has multi-gesture support, which is pretty awesome as I'm used to two-finger scrolling from my MacBook Pro. There's also a good amount of wrist resting space for both hands on either side of the touchpad while typing. Something I came to like after more and more use were the amount of ports available on a laptop, as it gives me the ability to basically do anything that I need to without carrying any sorts of adapters around. On the left there are 2 mini DisplayPort 1.2 ports, 1 USB 3.0 Type A port, and 1 HDMI 2.0 port. Over on the right we have a range of 3.5mm audio jack options, including SPDIF output, microphone, and headphone jack. There's also a 6-in-1 card reader which supports MMC, RSMMC, SD, Mini SD, SDHC, and SDXC cards. Next, there's 2 more USB 3.0 Type A ports and an RJ45 gigabit Ethernet port and Kensington lock. On the back, there's another sneaky USB 3.0 Type A port, as well as the AC power input for the included battery brick. So with all that in mind, how is the laptop to actually use? Every day, real-world performance has been excellent, which is kind of expected with specs like these. I'm running Windows 10 Professional and have not had any slowness or delay at all. All programs I've opened have worked perfectly fine. Even when I'm running multiple programs at once, everything's been working perfectly fine without any issues. During normal use, I haven't had any sort of heat problems. When idle, the fans are noticeably audible, which is helping to keep things consistently cool. With an ambient room temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, the CPU temperature was only 20 degrees degrees Celsius at idle. In terms of more synthetic performance, I've run some basic benchmarks to give you an idea on how the laptop with these specs performs. The CPU temperature rose to 50 degrees Celsius while running the Passmark CPU benchmark, which resulted in a score of 8,734. In Crystal Diskmark, the SSD performed around 530 megabytes per second of sequential reads and 470 megabytes per second of sequential writes. The spinning Rust hard drive, on the other hand, was only around 100 megabytes per second both read and write sequentially, which was sort of expected as I cheaped out and bought the lowest model available as I was just using it for data storage, so that's fine. I ran the Firestrike benchmark from 3DMark and got an overall score of 6,606. I'll leave a link to the full results page in the video description if you're interested. Throughout the test, I did notice some screen tearing, which is expected without a G-Sync style display. This model of laptop is upgradable to a G-Sync panel, however I'm using this laptop for work primarily and not gaming, so I didn't go with the G-Sync option in this instance. The included battery is a 4-cell lithium-ion polymer battery rated at 60 watt-hours. The battery is claimed to last for 325 minutes, and with a full charge and doing just web browsing with the screen on half brightness, Windows 10 estimated that it would last for around 342 minutes, so that seems fairly accurate. While running the benchmarks on battery power, the estimate reduced to just 45 minutes. Considering the high specs of the machine, I think this battery life is fairly decent, and should allow you to get plenty of things done on a full charge, with the exception of lots of hardcore gaming, which shouldn't really be surprising in general for gaming laptops. There are front-facing Onkyo speakers, which sound pretty decent as far as inbuilt laptop speakers are concerned. The P650RE laptop comes with a 1-year warranty, with optional extensions to 2 or 3 years. A work colleague of mine who has an older model from MetaBox recently had a hardware fault and needed to contact their support. They were very helpful and offered some basic over-the-phone troubleshooting and determined that the laptop needed to be sent back for the further investigation and repair. MetaBox even covered the costs of express postage, which was really cool, so it's good to see that even the after-sales support is really good there. The MetaBox P650RE laptop offers powerful mobile gaming and could act as a desktop replacement while being portable and quite thin considering the powerful specs inside. The P650RE starts at 1,789 Australian dollars, and basically every component can be upgraded in multiple ways, so the final price will greatly depend on your requirements. With the particular customizations I have in this laptop in this video, the total was around 2,200 Australian dollars. You can check out their website at metabox.com.au and customize your own high-end laptop, and I've left a link in the video description for this specific model if you're interested. So what did you guys think of the P650RE laptop from MetaBox? Considering the specs are better than my somewhat outdated desktop computer, I think it's pretty awesome that something of this size can be so powerful. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments, or simply leave a like or dislike on the video. And don't forget to subscribe for future videos like this one.